listening or watching Radio Afínjú. The time is 6 p.m.
Ẹ bá mi pè é o. Àfínjú. Kí lorúkọ rẹ̀? Àfínjú. Rédíò. Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń wo Àfínjú. Lórí WhatsApp. Àfínjú. Instagram. Àfínjú. Facebook. Àfínjú. Lórí X. Àfínjú. Lórí YouTube. Àfínjú. Lórí TikTok. Àfínjú. Kí lorúkọ rẹ̀? Àfínjú. Ẹ bá mi pè é o. Àfínjú. Rédíò. Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń wo Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń wo Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú.
This is the world news on Radio Afínjú.
First, a look at the highlights. Tinubu to honor 210 former National Youth Service Corps members. ASU threatens lawsuit over Unimaid renaming. COVID-19 Special Envoy David Nabarro dies at 75. Good evening and welcome to the World News on Radio Afínjú. My name is Pearl Durotoye. The news in detail. President Bola Tinubu is set to honor no fewer than 210 former Corps members at the President's National Youth Service Corps NYSC Honors Awards for 2020 to 2023 service years. NYSC's Director of Media, Emeka Mgbemena, made the disclosure in a statement issued in Abuja, saying the awards ceremony will hold next Tuesday at the banquet hall of the presidential villa. Mgbemena said the awardees are made up of 200 former Corps members who excelled meritoriously in all the 4 cardinal programs of the NYSC. The statement for the said the Minister of Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande, Director General of NYSC, Olakunle Nafiu, and NYSC management were looking forward to welcoming the award beneficiaries and guests to the event. The University of Ibadan has decorated the Vice President Kashim Shettima as UI at 75 ambassador. The management team of the university, led by the Vice Chancellor Kayode Adebowale, decorated the VP at the presidential villa in Abuja. Shatima, while receiving the management team of the university, assured that he will support the university to remain the first and the best university in Nigeria and to reclaim its glory globally. He reiterated the federal government's determined decision to reposition Nigeria's education sector, affirming that the administration of President Bola Tinubu will mobilize both public and private sector support to reposition higher institutions of learning, particularly the University of Ibadan, being Nigeria's premier university. In the meantime, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, University of Maiduguri chapter, has vowed to challenge the federal government's decision to rename the institution after the late former president Muhammadu Buhari in court. In a statement issued and jointly signed by its chairperson Abubakar Mashela and Assistant Secretary Peter Terry, ASU Unimaid disclosed that the resolution followed an emergency congress held on July 23, 2025. According to the union, the Congress was attended by ASU members, representatives of the student union government and other critical stakeholders. The union said the decision was ill-conceived and devoid of meaningful consultation with the university community, alumni, relevant stakeholders and the general public. The union unanimously demanded the immediate and unconditional reversal of the renaming decision. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has recorded 168,187 new registrants as it concludes the continuous voter registration exercise in Anambra State. The National Commissioner and Chairperson, Information and Voter Education Committee, Sam Olumekun, disclosed this in a statement in Awka, the state capital. Olumekun said the figure was the highest recorded within 2 weeks in the state since the Commission introduced the process in 2017. It stated that the CVR, which was initially scheduled to end on 17th July, was extended by 3 days to 20th July 2025 in response to appeals from stakeholders, adding that the turnout reflected the growing interest of citizens in the electoral process ahead of the 8 November off-cycle governorship election in the state. Olumekun further stated that the next step in the registration process would be the display of the preliminary register of voters across the 326 wards from today to 1st August. The Nasarawa state government has denied the rumored collapse of the Lafia flyover and underpass. The managing director of the Nasarawa State Urban Development Board, Yahaya Wada, who led journalists around the bridge in Lafia, said the newly constructed Lafia flyover and underpass is in good condition and did not collapse. Wada countered wide speculations on social media that the newly constructed flyover and underpass bridge recently commissioned by President Bola Tinubu collapsed, showing that everything is stable, vehicles and people are moving about their normal businesses. He therefore called on the people not to entertain fear using the bridge and go about their normal businesses as the bridge is intact. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has condemned the recent killings in the Imbano area of Imo State, which the Nigeria Police Force blamed on the group and its security arm, the Eastern Security Network, ESN. Several persons were reportedly killed when gunmen invaded Umualuaku community in Ehime Mbano local government area of Imo State during the week, forcing residents to remain indoors as the attack lasted for several hours. Recall that spokesman of the Imo State Police Command, Henry Okoye, alleged that the attackers were suspected members of IPOB and its armed wing, Eastern Security Network. However, in a statement earlier today by IPOB spokesman Emma Powerful, IPOB condemned the attack and distanced its members and the ESN from the attack. IPOB blamed the incident on security agencies, alleging that the attack was part of what it described as state-sanctioned mass murder and political manipulation. The Ogun State Police Command has launched an intensive investigation into the brutal killing of a 16-year-old boy, Lawal Wahab, whose disfigured body was discovered along the Old Express Road in Igbile, Jebu. Spokesperson of the Ogun State Police Command, Omolola Odutola, in a statement in Abeokuta, the state capital, disclosed this to newsmen, saying Wahab, who had been living with his grandmother, was reported missing by his father, Lawal Olumide, earlier this month. She added that the tragic discovery was made on July 23, 2025, when residents alerted authorities to a decomposed body in the area, which, upon examination, the police found out that the head, both wrists, heart, and genitals had been gruesomely removed, indicating a likely ritual killing. Acting on credible intelligence, officers from the Omo-Ijebu division swung into action and arrested suspects identified as Salau Omi Consola and Serefusi Agemo, among others. Odutola said one of the suspects reportedly gave a voluntary confession, which has been documented and recorded on video. Now on the foreign scene, the World Health Organization's special envoy for COVID-19 since the early stages of the outbreak in 2020, David Nabarro, has died at the age of 75. World Health Organization Chief Tedros Ghebreyesus, confirming the Britain's death in the post on X, said Nabarro was a great champion of global health and health equity. Nabarro was also co-director of the Institute of Global Health Innovation at Imperial College in London. In 2017, he was a candidate for WHO Director General, finishing second to Tedros in the election. Elsewhere, to bolster cooperation, Australia's government has signed a treaty with Britain over the next 50 years on the AUKUS nuclear submarine partnership. Defense Minister Richard Marles revealed earlier in the day that the bilateral treaty was signed with Britain's Defense Secretary John Healey after a meeting in the city of Geelong in Victoria State. He said the treaty will enable comprehensive cooperation on the design, build, operation, sustainment and disposal of the submarines, adding that it was a commitment for the next 50 years of UK-Australian bilateral defense cooperation. By Australia, Britain and the US in 2021 aims to provide Australia with nuclear-powered attack submarines from the next decade to counter China's ambitions in the Indo-Pacific. In Asia, as public discontent promised reforms, thousands of people rallied in the Malaysian capital to demand the resignation of Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. The police estimated that at least 18,000 people were in attendance as protesters, mostly wearing black T-shirts and bandanas carrying the slogan "Step Down Anwar," marched through the heart of Kuala Lumpur before converging in the city's Independence Square to hear speeches by top opposition leaders. Anwar, who campaigned on a reformist platform before taking office in November 2022, has faced criticism over measures aimed at boosting government revenue, including an expanded sales and services tax and subsidy adjustments that some fear could lead to a spike in consumer prices. Former Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad, who turned 100 this month, joined the rally and accused Anwar of misusing his position to prosecute political rivals, charges the Premier has previously rejected. Now in the Middle East, an armed attack on a courthouse in Iran's restive Sistan Balochistan province by the Sunni Jaish al-Adil Baluch group killed at least 9 people, including 3 of the assailants. According to reports, another 22 were injured in the attack, with the Jaish al-Adil confirming the deaths of its 3 members in the clashes with security forces in Zahedan, the capital of the far southeastern province bordering Pakistan and Afghanistan. The head of the province's judiciary disclosed that a toddler and a 60-year-old woman, as well as 3 soldiers and law enforcement personnel assigned to the courthouse, were among those killed, but he did not identify the 6th third person. Jaish al-Adil, which claimed responsibility for the attack in a statement on its Telegram account, said it had killed at least 30 members of the judiciary and security forces, clarifying that it targeted judges and court personnel whom it accused of issuing death sentences and house demolition orders to Baluch citizens. It blamed security forces for the deaths of civilians, saying they had fired indiscriminately. Now talking sports. Ahead of the 2024 African Nations Championship, the home-based Super Eagles will take on Zanzibar in a double-header friendlies. The first friendly is scheduled for Monday, 28th July, while the second friendly is for Thursday, 31st July. Eric Shell's side arrived Zanzibar on Friday for the second phase of their preparation for the Shan 2024 finals, with the team expected to move to the official accommodation on the island after the last friendly. Nigeria will face Senegal, Sudan, and Congo in Group D at the competition. The home Eagles will take on holders Senegal in their first game at the Amman Stadium on Wednesday, 7th August. Still talking sports, with the ruling in his betting charges case predominantly going his way, Brazilian footballer Lucas Paquetá is set to be free to continue his career. The final verdict in the West Ham midfielder's protracted case is coming up. The judgment has been relayed to all interested parties and is due to be released shortly by the Football Association. The FA was seeking a lifetime ban for Paquetá, whose case was heard by an independent regulatory commission. Paquetá has been under investigation since August 2023 as he was charged with breaching betting rules in May 2024, and the hearing began in March this year, and also faced 2 further charges of obstructing an FA investigation. Paquetá did not place any bets and denied any wrongdoing. Before we go, here again are the highlights. President Bola Tinubu is set to honor no fewer than 210 former corps members as the President's National Youth Service Corps NYSC Honors Award for 2020 to 2023 service years on Tuesday at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, University of Maiduguri chapter, has vowed to challenge the federal government's decision to rename the institution after the late former President Muhammadu Buhari in court. And on the foreign scene, the World Health Organization Special Envoy for COVID-19 since the early stages of the outbreak in 2020, David Nabarro, has died at the age of 75. That was the world news on Radio Afínjú. To view our channel, please follow Radio Afínjú on Facebook, X and YouTube. The news was edited by Bukola Karim. My name is Pearl Durotoye. Thanks for listening. Good evening.
That was the world news on Radio Afínjú.
Maka akụkọ okwu gbasara ndọrọndọrọ ọchịchị, egwu ma ọ bụ ihe na-eme na Naịjirịa ma ọ bụ ihe na-eme na mba ofesi, omenani, mgbasa ozi, ihe ndị a niile dị na Radio Afínjú. N'eziokwu, Radio Afínjú bụ nke izizi na radio stations na Osun State. Radio Afínjú bụ amaala na ịgbasa ozi.
Má kọ̀yìn síbi ayé kọjú sí ọ̀rẹ́ wa. Radio Afínjú láyé ń tẹ̀lé báyìí.
Oh no. Melanin queen. Fine girl.